So for the last 2 years, I've been making digital handwritten notes on my iPad for my university degree. And I think the question that many of us students have is, has it been worth it? Hiya everyone, my name is Hazal and I'm a UK-based medical student. I run this channel alongside my best friend Liddy, and we use it to document our journeys to becoming doctors whilst sharing student tips along the way. As students, there are many different ways we can make academic notes. I started off medical school by typing up my notes on a laptop, however I found that this wasn't a very effective study technique for me. I then tried to go back to my A-level technique of making mind maps and notes on paper, however this wasn't a sustainable technique for the volume of content I had to learn. So at the end of first year, I decided to venture into the tablets world and purchased my iPad. This is when I was introduced to making digital handwritten notes, and I have not looked back since. I personally really enjoy making digital handwritten notes, and it is what works best for me, but this is not the case for everyone. So in this video, I'll be going through the pros and cons of using a tablet to make digital handwritten notes. Let's start off with the pros. This is probably the biggest pro of making digital handwritten notes. As in the name, these notes are digital, so very easy to store. You can have every single note you have made about a particular topic in one single place, whether that's 500 sheets of notes or 1000 sheets of notes. This essentially means you have less to carry and less to move around. Let's just quickly have a look at how many notes I have here on my iPad. So I'm just going to quickly open up Notability. I'll put up a screenshot so you can see, but I have 525 notes, and this many notes takes up less than 500 megabytes of storage on my iPad. Now imagine all those notes on physical paper that you have to put in a folder and carry around every single day. I don't know about you, but I can't do that. That was my experience during A-levels, where I had to carry around big folders every single day, and I can tell you from experience that this is such a better alternative. And don't forget that alongside your notes and your folders, you also have to carry around pencil cases and other stationery, and your bag literally ends up weighing 100 kilograms. But instead of that, you can carry around one device that has everything you need. And you do also save money in certain aspects because you don't have to buy things like folders, notebooks, stationery, and other things like that. This easy storage doesn't just extend to making notes, but also to other areas of your studies. For example, as a medical student, I have to go onto hospital placement, and instead of bringing around my clinical book, a notebook, a pen, and my logbook, I can just carry around my iPad that has everything I need. Your notes being digital allows for very easy editing. For example, you can very easily rearrange your notes, change the color of your text, add new information to old notes, and overall have 100% control of how your notes look at all times. This isn't the case for handwritten notes, because once that ink touches the paper, you can't exactly go back and rearrange how everything looks. Alongside this, you can also very easily add additional media to your notes. During my lectures, I sometimes get given sheets of notes that I just shove in my bag and end up losing. However, since having my iPad, I can simply take an image of the handout and then add that image to my notes so that I don't lose it. This also allows me to freely annotate this image if need be. The ability to annotate and neatly organize your work also extends to lecture slides and other pieces of important information, which makes your life that bit easier. If you do decide to buy an iPad and want to learn exactly how I make my digital notes on my iPad, make sure to check out my new SKILLSHARE course on how to make digital notes. You can find the link to the course down below in the description box, and that link gives you a free month to SKILLSHARE, so you can watch the whole course for free. And finally, having a tablet encourages you to get creative with your notes and make the note-taking experience more fun and enjoyable. In the past, my notes were pretty much black ink on plain paper in big chunky paragraphs that I couldn't really consume. However, since getting my iPad, I've been so much more creative with my notes, with my titles, and even with the diagrams and images I add to my notes. This does really aid my learning, and it is especially beneficial if you are a visual learner. And since medicine is a very visual subject, you can easily add nice diagrams and images to your notes that you can annotate and label without having to print it out or draw it yourself. And plus, I know we all love aesthetic notes, whether it makes the information more easy to consume or it makes the note-taking experience more fun for you. And your notes being digital allows you to make them aesthetic a lot more easier than if your notes were physical. Okay, so now that we have discussed the 3 main pros of making digital handwritten notes on a tablet, now let's move on to the cons. Firstly, and most importantly, buying a tablet, a whole new device, is quite a big investment for many of our students to make. And many students might not want to take the risk of buying a whole new device and then potentially not even liking it or finding it useful. This is definitely something that for a while puts me off transitioning from making typed notes to making digital handwritten notes. The last thing you want is to be in a position where you regret your decision and think it was not worth it. Many of us are used to writing on physical paper with a physical pen, and writing on a tablet is a whole different experience. In fact, when I first got my iPad, it took me some time to get used to writing on a screen with a fake pen. For me, the difference in texture and writing experience wasn't too much of a big deal, and I did get used to it in the end. However, I do know that some people really do not like it. Based on personal preference, you might not want to get a tablet and make handwritten digital notes simply because you do not like the feeling of writing on a screen. Something that does help is a paper-like screen protector, which I use to give a more paper-like feeling when making my notes. Instead of your pen gliding over the screen, with this screen protector there is more grip and friction, as there would be on physical paper. If you would like to check out paper-like screen protectors, make sure to do so using our link in the description box down below. As students, whether you are in college, university or high school, a lot of our studies are not restricted to acquiring notes. Some of us may need to write long essays, do extensive research, make graphs and tables, etc. For some, this is a lot harder to do on a tablet compared to a laptop. For example, I find it a lot easier to type on an actual keyboard compared to the on-screen keyboard on a tablet. This can slow down your writing process and make your studying less efficient. Hence, it's definitely something to keep in mind. So now that we have discussed the 3 biggest pros and cons of making digital handwritten notes on a tablet, you can decide for yourself whether you want to venture into this world or not. I think it all comes down to your personal preference and learning style. If you are a visual learner or someone who learns by writing things out, you could really benefit from a tablet. I have made some videos on my note-taking process, which you can check out by clicking on this video. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video and find it useful, and if you did, make sure to like, comment and subscribe, and I'll see you in a new video next time. Bye!